Today, we're going to visit with Ann Ryan, who's one of our seasoned optimal EFT practitioners from Ireland. Say hello, Ann.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Gary.
Hi. And our topic is the benefits of consistently asking the unseen therapist. We're going to ask Ann to talk about really an exceptional experience he's had, and we'll explore that some. But the idea here is, as you start to get more engaged and more training and more practice with the unseen therapist, it's one thing to start asking, well, what's really behind this particular ailment? It saves a lot of time and so on. You can even ask, should I buy these peaches or those bananas today if you wanted to? And that would be the unseen therapist becoming more of a companion, an ever-present source of wisdom for us. Anne is somebody who has had at least one experience with that, and she's going to tell us about it now. Did I say it right, Anne?
You said it very well, Gary.
Well,
yes.
Give us your experience.
Okay. A couple of days ago, I was getting ready to travel for the weekend to visit some people. It was Friday. And I got a WhatsApp message from somebody I work with, a client who I've seen for quite some years, dips in and dips out. And it was very unexpected because the message was, I've sent you an email in despair. That's all the WhatsApp said. It was unexpected from the person it came from. So I did my little bit of steadying myself with the unseen therapist, just because of receiving this. And for some reason, more than I have ever done before, because I do communicate with her quite a lot, but more than I've ever done before.
Her being the unseen therapist.
Yes, I call her her. Yes, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Her being the unseen therapist. I was guided to keep consistently checking in. So when I got this message, besides, just bringing a little bit of calm because this was unexpected, I said, do I read the email now? I was packing my car to go. No, don't read the email yet. So I went on my journey. It was a 2-hour journey. As I was going along after 30 minutes, do I read the email now? About halfway there, I was like, okay, pull in at the next, motorway station. And yes, now's the time to read the email. I did. It was lengthy, but there were words such as hopeless, despair. What's the point? That was the essence of the email.
Yes.
And I said to the unseen therapist, do I respond? She said, not yet. I said, okay. And
well, let me stop you right there. Your ego, your training, your sense of what you should do is to, I better get back to her right now because she might commit suicide. I mean, these are down and out words, but you're guided not to do what your normal conditioning would say to do. All right. So I'm just pointing that out. Okay.
Yes.
So Continue, please.
It continued like that. So I continued my journey. And I would say, do I reply now? No. Do I reply now? Eventually, a couple of hours later, do I reply? And I said, yes, now is the time to reply. And she said, send a short voice message on WhatsApp. The guidance was so clear. It's like, okay. So the guidance was so clear. But each step of the way, I never questioned it. Now, I'm not saying I don't sometimes go, are you sure? Do you not think? But in this instance, I said, okay, that's what she said. That's what I will do. So I then sent a very, brief minute and a half message, really acknowledging what I'd heard, and the guidance was just keep it general. Be loving, be compassionate, acknowledge. And tell her you're away for the weekend, just to explain. So I did, left the message. Over the weekend, it stayed with me. And I would say, I asked numerous times, will I reach out? No. Every single time she said no. On Monday morning, I asked, I mean, this is Friday to Monday. On Monday morning, I asked, will I reach out? And she said, yes, send a really short message. And I sent something along the lines of, I've been thinking of you a lot over the weekend, and some nice heart emojis. And nothing came back. And that is unusual because this person generally, when we message for appointments or anything, is responsive. And so nothing came back all day. That was Monday at 10 o'clock all day. And I kept checking in, is this okay? I got this is okay. It's just, it's what she kept saying was, it's something that needed an out. It needed an expression. And it's really important to give the space for it. That's what I kept hearing. So at 5 o'clock that evening, or maybe just after 5 o'clock, I got a message back saying, thank you for your lovely messages. I've just sent you an email. I'm feeling so much better. And the email was titled Hopeful. Okay. And there was some detail in the email, but a couple of things had happened. Well, firstly, the guidance was completely as it needed to be. The second thing was there did need to be a venting, and it happened to come in an email, and it happened to, be sent to me. And the third thing was my not jumping into, help or rescue or whatever, maybe that might be my inclination in the past. The process that it allowed this person I work with to find her way back to being hopeful, which she really did all by herself over the weekend. Now,
I'm going to probably with unseen therapist help.
Okay. Oh, well, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But go ahead, please.
Well, only to say, like, those were the answers in those 2 or 3 days in that circumstance. Were the same thing to happen tomorrow, I don't imagine the answers would be the same. So I don't see it as like, oh, this is the roadmap for any time a situation like this happens, just to say.
Yeah.
But in this case, it was the clearest, consistent guidance I've ever got. It's the longest time I've consistently kept asking and kept going, okay. She says yes. She says no. She says not now. She said, now's the time. Like, I have a lot of trust in the unseen therapist, and I connect with her a lot for myself and for people I work with. I've never had that prolonged period of time of having the patience and having the trust go, okay, this is what she says this minute. And then I forget it isn't the word, but it will go out of my mind until an hour or 2 or 3 later. Now what do I need to do? Yeah.
And the reality of all of this is clients can, and often, to use your term, should, work it out themselves. Okay.
Yeah.
That whatever happens, somebody, her spouse or somebody in her family says something to her, something else shows up in the meantime, whatever it is, she gets an aha that you had nothing to do with. It was unseen therapist knows was going to come along. I'm making all this up because there's so many things that you and I don't know.
Yes.
Lots that we don't know. Unseen therapist does. Now, you use the word trust. The more you have experiences like this, and this is true with many of our students, the more we engage with the unseen therapist, the more we practice, the more we listen, and so on, the more trust we start to develop. It's a little difficult just for me to say, well, join our course and now trust the unseen therapist. That, just do that. Okay. Yeah. You got to have a little input here and there, a little experience here and there. And so now you've had not only individual experiences along the way, but now you've got one of consistently asking and getting these results, and saved you a lot of time, did it not?
Yes, it did. And it gave everyone the space they needed, it would seem.
Including you and your vacation.
Including me and my vacation. Yes.
Yeah, you count here too, Anne. Okay.
Thanks, Gary. Thank you.
Okay, great story. I hope our listening audience, gets the idea about how more practice and more engagement, etc., is going to develop more trust and more wisdom at our fingertips, which is really within us, and so on. Anything more you wanted to say before we close up?
Only that I've tried to continue not to do with that particular thing, but it's opened my eyes even more than before. And I've been having some fun with the unseen therapist over the last day or two, where, it could be, what will I do first today? And she's throwing a lot of humor into things, which she does, from time to time, but it's been lovely. It's been lovely. So I hope to, I think it's brought me to something that I wouldn't have done had this not happened.
All right. Great examples, and really thank you. Anybody who wants to get a hold of you, by the way, your contact information is right there below your name, below your pretty face. Okay.
Thank you.
I'll just remind everybody there's some essential links down below the bottom of this this video that'll take you to free newsletters and my free ebook to give you an intro to the unseen therapist, advanced training links, and all of that. So with that in mind, we will see you next time.